I will start my reading practice from the book Clear Thinking. Not your fault, it's still your responsibility. Just because something happened that was outside of your control doesn't mean it's not your responsibility to deal with it the best you can. Our desire to protect ourselves prevents us from moving forward. It's tempting to absolve yourself, throwing your hands up and claiming you have no control over the situation you have landed in. And sure, sometimes that's true. There are circumstances of chance that have a negative impact. People suffer misfortune all the time for reasons beyond their control. Stray bullets, disease, getting struck by a drunk driver. Complaining does nothing to change the present situation you find yourself in, though. Thinking about how it was not your fault doesn't make anything better. The consequences are still yours to deal with. Always focus on the next move, the one that gets you closer or further from where you want to go. If you play poker, you learn this intuitively. You are dealt a hand based mostly on luck. Feeling sorry for yourself, complaining about the hand you were dealt, or blaming others for how they played their hands only distracts you from what you can control. Your responsibility is to play the hand as best you can. You can put energy into things you control or things you don't control. All the energy you put toward things you don't control comes out of the energy you can put toward the things you can. While no one chooses difficult circumstances, adversity provides opportunity. It allows us to test ourselves and see who we have become. The test is not against other people, though, it is against our former selves. Are we better than we were yesterday? When circumstances are easy, it's hard to distinguish ordinary people from extraordinary ones, or to see the extraordinary within ourselves. As a Roman slave, Publius Cyrus once said, anyone can steer the ship when the sea is calm. The path to being exceptional begins when you decide to be responsible for your actions no matter the situation. Exceptional people know they can't change the hand they have been dealt and don't waste their time wishing for a better one. They focus instead on how they are going to play the cards that have to achieve the best result. They don't hide behind others. The best people rise to the challenge. Whatever it is, they choose to live up to their best self image instead of surrendering to their defaults. One of the most common mistakes people make is bargaining with how the world should work instead of accepting how it does work. Anytime you find yourself or your colleagues complaining that's not right or that's not fair or it shouldn't be that way, you are bargaining, not accepting. You want the world to work in a way that it doesn't. Failing to accept how the world really works puts your time and energy toward proving how right you are. When the desired results don't materialize, it's easy to blame circumstances or others. When the desired results don't materialize, it's easy to blame circumstances or results. I call this the wrong side of right. You are focused on your ego, not the outcome. Solutions appear when you stop bargaining and start accepting the reality of the situation. That's because focusing on the next move rather than how you got here in the first place opens you up to a lot of possibilities. When you put outcome over ego, you get better results. How you respond can always make things better or worse. You can't control everything, but you can control your response, which makes circumstances better or worse. Each response has an impact on the future, taking you either a step closer to or a step further from the outcomes you want and the person you want to be. One effective question to ask yourself before you act is, will this action make the future easier or harder? This surprisingly simple question helps change your perspective on the situation and avoid making things worse. As my grandfather and many others used to say, if you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you need to do is stop digging it. Thank you. That's it for the day.